Choose life, choose a sport, choose a drop zone, choose a start time, choose a fucking big jump plane, choose turbine engines, speed, unlimited altitude, and endless horizons. Choose height, no low turns, and travel insurance. Choose jump tickets, choose tiny action cameras, choose your mates, choose a rig and matching helmet, choose swoop shorts and a range of fucking fabrics, choose 120 vertical speed and wondering who the fuck you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting on that couch, watching debriefs, spirit-saving slow-mos, smashing beers after last load. Choose standing on the podium at the end of it all. Choose a wing you'll love every time. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you fly NZ Aerosports?
Of course, I absolutely love the NZ Aerosports business model. I mean, come on. One glance at an Icarus fuck yeah sticker and you know it lines up perfectly with the fucking pilot mentality. But outside their wonderful use of colorful language and a great company vibe, there's a long list of reasons to say NZ Aerosports, fuck yeah. NZ Aerosports blows me away right out of the gate as a canopy manufacturer with a bold offer. They give you 10 jumps on your brand new nylon to decide if you want to keep it, swap it out, or even return it for a refund. I mean, seriously, how incredible is that? That's like getting halfway through a prom and deciding you prefer the slightly racier date that goes down faster. Seriously, they do that. If you're not madly in love with your new canopy after 10 jumps, they'll let you swap it out for another size or model, or even get your money back. And the range of canopies they've got? Man, they've got a style canopy to fit every jumper and every situation with models you know and trust, like the Sapphire 3, the perfect choice for the beginner or intermediate canopy pilot. The Crossfire 3, when you're ready to kick it up that elliptical notch. The JFX 2, if you're looking to up your new swoop game. The Leia as the workhorse and dirtwater dirt beast, or the Petra. The Petra cranks out crazy power and is nothing short of a record breaker. But hey, it's not always about speed either. Take the Kraken. Built as a low pack volume canopy specifically with wingsuiting in mind, she gives you all the performance you're looking for with the reliability you need that'll have you itching for that next formation, rodeo, or puffy cloud. So the equipment is top of the line kick-ass stuff as you already know, but how about the team? Well, the customer service gang is there to sort you out whenever you need them. Maddie and Beto are always there to help with Jen holding the reins. They're available for you at sales@nzaerosports.com, and they've got a kick-ass live chat tool on the website if you're wanting to hit someone up right away. These are the crew you're going to want to talk to get those custom orders in. With the stock nylon, once you know what you want, they'll have that shit on a FedEx truck as soon as the credit card machine says approved and get you in the air in no time. For your custom orders, you'll be able to get a time frame for building and shipping when you design it, so get to it. And demos. They've got demos in the US available from their partner Rock Sky Market. The whole US demo fleet is there with Sapphire 3, Crossfire 3, Kraken, JFX2, and Leia canopies in a range of sizes. They also offer student and tandem demos in the US. Bottom line, every step of the way, NZ Aerosports is there to get you what you need, and I personally couldn't be happier to be teamed up with them here on Lunatic Fringe. Hell, they've even got a special offer for all you lunatic listeners out there. Just head to pages.nzaerosports.com/into the void. That's pages.nzaerosports.com/into the void and follow the instructions to register a website account with them. You'll score a discount voucher with $20 towards any purchase over $200. I mean, come on. You know you're going to shop with NZ Aerosports, so grab a little extra cash towards that buy and enjoy. The offer is good until the 31st of December, and the voucher is good for 3 months, so go register now. And now, time to get started with Lunatic Fringe Into the Void, brought to you proudly by NZ Aerosports. Fuck yeah.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! All right, back in the can for another edition of Lunatic Fringe Into the Void, and it's an up-close and personal one. Hey, cheers.
Cheers to that, yeah.
Who the fuck are you, and what do you do?
I am Tim Jones.
Tim Jones.
Currently working as a tandem instructor, videographer, doing my best. And yeah, that's about it at the minute.
All right, hauling meat, jumping out of airplanes, and shooting video.
That's the one.
Nice. Was that the grand scheme when you were like 12 years old? You're like, I want to grow up and strap people to me?
Not when I was 12, 21 it started.
All right.
Do you know Matt Abram, actually?
I know the name.
He was the one that got me started on this. Same story as most people do a tandem and then with no direction in my life, figure out that might be a good option, especially when you hear what people get paid for jumping out of a plane rather than what we pay.
Yeah, right? Right? Wait, yeah, well, I always used to get oh my God, you have the greatest job in the world. I can't believe they pay you for this. And then 5 years down the road, you're like, they don't fucking pay me enough.
Well, I was that guy. I can't believe you get paid for this.
Yep.
How much do you get paid? 50 euros? No way. All right, that's me.
Nice.
I'm done. So it was the videographer side that really enticed me because he was just having a great time.
Yeah.
We went to France, actually, and he was the only person that could speak English, so we were ringing him up in my Peugeot 205 that could barely make it all the way. It was a booze cruise with all of my buddies.
Nice.
One idea that I came up with. And then, yeah, he directed us all around the block, eventually got there, and then same story.
And that was to do your first jump?
That was to do my first jump.
In France?
In France, yeah. Oh, you know how everyone turns up at these places and say, oh, it's the best place to jump, the view's amazing, you know? Well, I lived in a town close to, which is my old home drop zone, close to Banbury with a coffee factory and, just the usual stuff that you think is drab and dreary when you live there, and you think, let's go to greener pastures, so we had to go somewhere else.
Sure.
And combined it with going to get some cheap alcohol in Europe. Why not? Just to come back and party with it. So yeah, that was the idea to start with.
Nice. And was that your first foray into extreme sports? Was jumping out of an airplane, or had you been doing other stuff?
Yeah, I don't know really what's classified as extreme sports. I've always been kind of active, so
anything you could fuck yourself up in.
I don't know. I guess I did downhill mountain biking a little bit when I was younger. We went to some trips to Morzine. You know Morzine?
No, I was just going to say, they have hills in England?
Yeah, not really. So we went over to Morzine doing some of that. I used to just, as a kid, jump with the biggest, build the ramps out of wood and do stupid shit. Try to do Supermans and backflips, whatever you can get away with.
Right.
But yeah, apart from that, no, I guess skydiving was the first one that really reeled me in properly.
Fair enough. Now, what did the family think of that?
Good question, actually. I don't know. They didn't really have too much to say about it to start with. I guess my mom didn't really, it's kind of this, when you don't know, you have preconceived ideas about what it is.
Sure.
And I guess skydiving has these preconceived ideas about it being dangerous and stuff.
Sure.
Is what you hear every day.
Sure.
When you're working in the industry. But so I think each year or whatever, when I go and see my family and stuff, I give them more information and they hear about the safety aspects of skydiving and whatever. They don't know about the reserves to start with. They don't know about the AADs to start with. They don't know about all the checks and stuff we do. So
well, that's the thing, right? I mean, you've got the level of danger, and there certainly is a high level of danger in skydiving, but there's also a high level of safety backups for it. But it takes a while to realize, and then you get deeper into the sport and you read the incident reports and you hear about fatalities and everybody you meet has met someone that they've lost, and then you start scratching your head going, is this really maybe this is as dangerous as people say? And then you realize, oh no, chances are it was a one-off. But that's a weird thing, right? How many one-off accidents and fatalities are there? This has never happened before.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking times I've heard that?
Yeah, that's true.
This is, oh my God, that was a 1 in a million.
Well, those are the ones that go down in the book, the ones that we all learn about.
Right.
And try and figure out what we can do better next time.
Right. So what would the parents have, obviously if they knew it was kind of dangerous, but they just let you get away with it, were you a pain in the ass, so they were just happy you found something to do?
Maybe they were happy that I was leaving every weekend and not bothering them, because literally I was. When I first started skydiving, it was every single weekend, rain or shine. And I started skydiving in late September in the UK, so, it was a larger level of dedication, you might say, than these seasonal fun jumpers that come and turn up. But yeah, rain or shine, we were there lighting the bonfire every single weekend, camping in a tent in December or whatever it was.
Well, now, was that part of the draw, though? As I mean, obviously the jumping was a big
Initially,
thing.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of skydivers get drawn into the thing is,
Yeah.
you know, they find this family that they've never
Oh, yeah.
met before, and everyone's so communal, and
Yeah,
you have
it's-
this one topic of conversation that you're always talking about,
Yep.
which we still do. It's had 7 years in the sport, and you find
Dude.
yourself at a bar, like you'd be there with someone that's not a skydiver, you know, and if you put yourself in their shoes, especially if it's someone in your own invitation, you watch the conversation at a skydiving table, and it suddenly turns to, what are you flying? Valkyrie 75, 1080, rah, rah, rah. And it's all this mumbo jumbo that no one can understand. It goes on for like 25 minutes. And then you have to turn around and go, sorry, we've just been rambling about nothing you can understand, you know?
Yeah, oops.
So there's always that. Yeah.
I think actually you were out one evening when I had made the suggestion that we should try and have an evening without talking about skydiving, and everybody
I
waited
think it would be impossible.
They waited about half a second before they were like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like literally everyone here is a skydiver. Of course we're going to talk about skydiving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you went out and made your first jump in France,
Yep.
and you got a bunch of cheap booze.
Got a bunch of cheap booze, yeah.
Nice.
Came
And-
straight back to Bristol and sent it in one of the nightclubs down there. That was cool. And then obviously, you know, you're drunk as hell and chatting to everybody you meet in the nightclub. Hey, I just did a skydive, rah, 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 telling them all the stories. you know?
Yeah, of course. So you knew right then from that first jump, you're like, this shit's for me.
Yeah, at this stage in my life, I must have been, I was 21. So I'd been to university, and it was kind of a decision that was a bit like, I don't really know what I want to do. You know, throw a bunch of subjects on the wall and throw a dart at it. And I just picked photography just to go and do another experience. You know,
Sure.
I just finished college and was just looking to go somewhere new. So I did that, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I spent a year there not going to university and having a good time. But of course, the lecturers don't let you back if you don't do any of the work. So
Yeah.
so that was that, and then I was back, you know, just working, doing whatever, living with my friends, which was great fun, but with no direction.
Sure.
And so I just was an open book when I went there, and this opportunity sparked in my mind and just became super easy. That I
Kind
was
of
like,
combine the
yeah,
photography.
I can do
you-
that, you know, and it
the-
pays good. So, and it was super fun. So, why
So
not?
you knew right away that, all right, fuck, I'm working in this.
Yeah,
and it was
sure.
the video.
And
thing
it was
that
the
you
video.
wanted.
I just wanted to be a videographer, you know. And then,
Me too.
of course, you go home and you YouTube all the videos and you look at all the stars and
Yeah.
stuff, and you sit there with your eyes wide and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I was really lucky. I got started shooting video so early in the sport, man. A super close friend of mine by the name of Kevin Love actually loaned me his camera helmet to shoot a 4-way video.
Side mount.
It wasn't the side mount, but it was a massive fucking helmet. This is back when you had to tape the outside of the camera because you'd get tape flutter on the fucking high 8
And take
tapes.
your neck up before you go
Oh,
for a
yeah,
jump.
man. Brutal stuff. And it was a 4-way of him, a very accomplished skydiver named Juliana C., a guy named Gary Spear that owned the Las Vegas Wind Tunnel, and Lou Sanborn, licensed D1. And that was
D1.
Yeah, that was the first proper skydiving video I ever shot, was a 4-way over them. And then started videoing almost right away because I started shooting video for a crew out of North Las Vegas that were the Outlaw Skydiving Club.
Sounds like a good name.
Fucking perfect.
I can imagine what you guys must have got up to.
Fucking perfect. I'm actually going to be speaking to the one and only Brian Moeller on the next episode, who is one of the Outlaws, and Jesus. Yeah.
So this is like the warm-up act, right?
Kind of. Yeah, absolutely. But I was super lucky to get started in that, and I never, ever wanted to be a tandem instructor.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't something that necessarily appealed to me straight away. I mean, and when I went, the guy advised me to go to a drop zone that was 15 minutes down the road from me, which I had no clue was there. And it was his home drop zone that he was, I mean, he speaks French. He was over there for a bit. I said, hey, just go down there and, speak to the guys, see what jobs they might have. So I turn up there one evening and I'm speaking to them. Hey, you got any work? I just want to be like in the community. I want to be surrounded by you guys, find out more information and stuff. I don't care what I do. You know, I said, I'll work the bar if you want. I saw they had a bar. And then little did I know that everybody works the bar, you know. It's just a free bar. You just go back. Everybody knows the button for the till. You put your money in. You take as many beers as you want and you leave. But
Yeah.
there's me being like, yeah, I can work the bar. I'll do whatever you want, you know. Everyone's laughing at me.
Of
This
course.
guy's got no idea. And then they're like, yeah, we normally give the opportunities that guys are already skydiving. So it was sparked in my head. Okay, I got to save up some money and do my AFF, and that's the way into this
Nice.
whole scheme.
So AFF in shit weather in the UK.
Yep.
Wow. How long did that take?
I think it was like 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
That's actually not that bad.
It's not too bad. And it was weekend stuff, so
Yeah.
not the end of the world. But yeah, I went there, started with my friend Peter, actually, who came and did a tandem with me on my birthday. And we both turned around to each other and said, yeah, let's go and do the AFF. I think obviously I was more stoked about it than him, so I roped him in. We went down there, hung around did the ground school, hung around all day as you do, and then we give up 4 o'clock in the afternoon, drive home, and as we're leaving, there's this big blue hole in the sky, and we just look at each other like, are we idiots? Should we turn around? We turn around, and they were like, we're so glad you came back. Like,
nice.
Sent the plane straight up, did level 1, and then from then on, I was like, turn around to Pete, like, are we going back? Are we going back? He's like, no, I'm good. Let me, maybe next weekend. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going back. So you catch me up, and then before I knew it, I was level 8, like 10 consoles and all the rest. And then I'm 200 jumps, and I'm like, you still coming back for level 2, bro? And he's like, I think I'm good.
Isn't it funny that, I remember the same thing because I had a bunch of friends that we always used to talk about going skydiving, and I ended up being the only one of my group that did that first jump and, of course, kept going. And it doesn't take very long before you start to see your friends drift towards the all skydive group and very few normal people.
Yeah.
And to this day now, I think I have, outside of family, half a dozen friends, if that are not skydivers.
Are not skydivers, yeah.
And half of them I've at least gotten to do a tandem.
Yeah. That's the way it goes, really. Especially whatever, like I said, I turned up at this place and you spend every weekend there and you suddenly bump into a bunch of people that you're spending all your spare time with. Yeah. Namely, Kenny Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Harrison. And then Keith Rivet was there a little bit later, but this was the core crew and Jay, my friend. But we were there every weekend, spending all our time together. So you quickly become like a family, especially when you're going through the levels and the programs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, when did you decide? When did you start working in it? Because obviously there's a bit of a time lag for everybody between starting out jumping and the first time someone's given you money to get in a plane.
That's true. The first time I didn't start jumping working in it, but after basically 2 years of being there every weekend, and even at my job in the evenings, I was turning around to the boss on 4 p.m. on a Friday being like, I'm ringing up Keith or whoever's at the drop zone, like, how many loads you got left to go? He's like, we got 3. If you can make it here in 20 minutes, you can probably get on the last one. I'm like, to my boss, this job that I signed up for. So I had to search around. I was working for white goods, installing washing machines and tumble dryers, but it paid me nothing, So eventually I got this job building sheds, which paid me good enough so that I can afford skydiving. I went for the interview on the Monday, and I'd already booked myself. I hadn't got the job, and I'd already booked myself in for level 1 on the Friday. I was confident. And I turn around, he shakes my hand, says, cool, you got the job. You start tomorrow. And I said, cool, can I have Friday off? Because I got to go skydive. So he knew from day one that this was what I was up to.
Right.
Often I was like, can I just leave? Because he's like, you're going to go skydive? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go skydive. I just want to sneak one in at the end of the day. And then that was the start of the weekend. I just stay there.
Sure.
I can't even remember what I was rambling about now.
Well, about how you got started in it.
So that was how I got started. The first couple of years, I was there for so long. And Andy Ford, who we both know, was the one that put my name forward. Yeah, he just put my name forward because I obviously thought I was nice and keen and was there and so avid.
Isn't it funny how, so you're a no-name skydiver at a small drop zone, basically in the middle of nowhere, building sheds.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to be able to get on the plane, hanging out with Andrew Ford.
Yeah.
Fordy, who is an extremely well-known, highly accomplished skydiver who's done a lot of shit for a lot of time.
Yeah.
And he's just your buddy that you're hanging out with. At any point, did you get clued into the fact that was Andrew Ford, not just Andy?
I don't still think I've been clued into the fact that it is, but
good for Andy.
No. Yeah. You eventually realize that everyone knows everybody in skydiving,
Sure.
So when you go to all these other drop zones in the UK and blah, 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 and you just drop his name, and, this, I work with him here, and, eventually the penny drops eventually. So.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool when you have that realization. You're like, oh wait, you're somebody.
Yeah.
But you can't rewind it and have awe for this person now that they're this person. You're just like, oh fuck, you've done some shit.
Yeah.
All right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's definitely done some shit.
So and I heard this. I had this conversation with 40 actually because I had him on recently as well, and he was saying how you guys had bounced back and forth, and you ended up going to a drop zone together where he kind of threw your name into the hat for ground control.
That was it, yeah. So I think the chain of events was Mitch was there, and a friend of mine, Rich Madeley, he was over here at the tunnel. Mitch was maybe training to do some video flying with his wings in the tunnel, and said, hey, met Rich, who's a super nice guy. Hey, are you interested in doing ground control? Rich, through the whatever he had at work going, wasn't able to take the job. I think it was passed to 40, and then he was available to put my name forward. And so, yeah. But it was kind of a long process.
Sure.
I put my name forward. I got in touch with Alan, and then it was, we'll schedule the Zoom meeting or whatever it was for next weekend for the interview. It wasn't happening. And then I had the opportunity where my friends were already going to Dubai.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get on a plane. I'm going to turn up on the doorstep. I'm going to say, hey, how about that interview now?
Right.
Which went in my favor, with Andy Ford as well. And, it worked out in the end.
Nice.
He gave me the job.
Now, how many jumps did you have at the time?
300.
All right, so still super low time.
Still super low, yeah.
So you're going there and you're on the ground.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Turned up over here. And, that was the general plan. I didn't want to be there doing ground control. I mean, obviously, I wanted to get on the video team, and what a video team it would be to be on as well. Sure. But the original plan is I'm going over here to do a job. I'm going to do it well for as long as I feel comfortable until I can step myself up to.
Ground control is an often overlooked position.
I would agree.
Yeah, it really is. But it's an extremely important position, especially at a busier drop zone or a drop zone with obstacles to overcome, so to speak. So you kind of got thrown into an operation that the job that you were given as a novice was an important fucking job.
Definitely.
I mean, how did you handle that? Was it because you're coming in with assholes like me, so
making my life easier, dude.
Yeah, you got office and airplanes and all that kind of stuff barking at you. And
like you said, it's a big operation to step into, coming from a tiny little drop zone in the UK.
Yeah,
like straight after I was here, and that was another shock.
Yeah.
If it wasn't enough with, two otters flying, Dean and Jackson, whatever, 8-minute lows between, clear drop, what's going on? I got someone in the water all over the place, Then they chuck me in on their games trying to deal with, I don't know how many gyrocopters and helicopters and all this stuff. But no, I was kind of shadowing Mitch for that.
Sure.
And picking it up slowly. He taught me a lot, which I'm very thankful for.
Well, I remember it went through a couple of really, really top-notch ground controllers, and you followed up in good suit and did the exact same job. But it's not an easy job because you're having to try and figure out what we're doing in the plane from the ground. And I think we were even joking around and trying to make you tell us what spot we were flying.
Yeah, you definitely get an eye for it after a while, don't you?
Which is crazy though, right? Because most people look up and they can barely see fucking parachutes, and you not only have to see the parachute as a ground controller, you have to know where they're at, what the wind is doing, how high they are, so that you know whether or not to clear. Did that take a while?
It did take a while, yeah. And it was something that from then I was training other ground controllers to do the same job. And it's kind of this thing where, what makes a good teacher is understanding that the student is still a student and they don't have the knowledge of the teacher. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And you forget that. Or after you've been doing it for so long, you're like, oh yeah, just look and that. And then make a decision. And you're like, yeah, but hang on, they don't have the same knowledge as you. So it definitely does take a long time to get your eye in. And we used to play that game, the 3-2-1 game. You get this inbuilt clock.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that. But
Tell me about the 3-2-1 game.
It was me and Mitch's game. It was the 3-2-1 game. So you're on radios, and for some reason, when the operation's going, it's just this clock, and you have it inbuilt with you. You've got other stuff to do. You know, you count the canopies, you go to the pond, you film the landing, you pick them up, you go back, and then you're on ground control, and there's this inbuilt clock in you which just tells you, in about 5 seconds, Dean's going to say 2 minutes. Is it clear to drop?
Right.
And we just used to play it, and you wouldn't believe how many times we get it right. 3, 2, 1. All right, jump for clear drop, and you just laugh in there at the end of the radio.
Awesome. Well, but that's how it's supposed to be, right? I mean, in a perfect world, you get that flow going, which is critical for safety as well. I mean, you always want to be able to know what's going on, and it's weird because you get this weird mental tap on the shoulder when something's not quite right. Yeah. Like, wait a second, timing is a little off, or something's not right, or something's funny, and you get that too from my end.
And it's it's happened the other way around, where we play the 3-2-1 game essentially, or something, and then I'll radio a pilot who might have forgotten, and then I'll say, "Is it? Do you want 2 minutes yet?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I should have asked for that 10 seconds ago." So it works both way around. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's that rhythm that you get into when it's a good, a high operating drop zone that just runs and runs and runs.
Sure. Well, and especially as you're winding down towards the end of a long day, when you're talking 20 plus loads, people miss stuff. Man, you just get fucking tired, and you're counting parachutes, and you've got to make sure this and that's going on. Everything's being done right. And we've both seen people on the opposite side of the job that aren't doing a good job. And it really makes a huge difference. Huge
knock-on
difference.
effects in
Yeah, for sure. Well, and so also being ground control too, you're seeing a different side of the sport in that it's not all fun and games. You've got definite shit to do that never really includes the woohoo moment because you're not doing the jumping.
Yeah.
So you got that kind of working to make you work a little bit harder as well, but you're also seeing negative stuff too because you're there for injuries. You're there for that kind of stuff. I mean, had you expected all that when you started doing that?
I hadn't. It was something that, you learn on the job. And I don't know, I feel like I'm an average people person, reading a situation and learning what the best way to deal with something is maybe something that I could be good at. Maybe it's a reason that I might be good at ground control. Telling people off was something that's, you've got to be careful with. All you want to do is keep people safe, and you want to get the right outcome. So what is the best way to approach this person or this person, you know? Are you going to call out the hot shot skydiver when he's surrounded by the 12 guys that he just did a radical skydive with, and say, whoa, you just let everyone up jump front, and then is he going to respond nicely to that? No, let's talk about it in a different way. When you got him to the side, hey, next time,
sure,
look at the spot, rah, 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 or something, just thinking about things in this, and I did it wrong to start with.
Of course.
I will admit.
Of course.
You got to learn from your mistakes when you do stuff like that.
Well, also coming from a small drop zone to a drop zone that a bigger drop zone, and any bigger drop zone, especially if it's a multi-turbine drop zone, is going to have superstars. Yeah. There's going to be, big names in the sport, which, I mean, let's face it, the sport is small. So a big name ain't much in the real world. It's only in our little world. Yeah. But you'll find yourself on a load next to rock stars in our sport. So telling those guys off.
That's it. Me, 300 jumps, somebody that's nobody knows.
Right.
Telling one of the big rock stars at these drop zones what to do.
Yeah.
Now, you got to be careful about how you're going to approach that,
For sure.
And that's something I had to learn. But, we got there in the end.
Well, it's funny too. And we've been fortunate enough to work in drop zones where some of the best that the sport has ever seen come through on a regular basis. And then you end up not just watching them jump, but you end up calling them friends, which is still a unique thing. Really, I think with skydiving, maybe something like surfing or snow skiing or something like that, where it's a relatively small community, but it's very easy to become friends with the best in the sport because chances are the best in the sport is also working the 3 or 4 days a week when they're not training to be the best.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, really, when you think about it. And you and I have both worked with some of the cutting edge skydiving in the sport, so it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Now, you transitioned from ground control happily because I think you were done with it
I was.
Wait.
Well, actually, you know what? I do love it. It's very good.
I actually have to ask a question. When you worked as ground controller, you consistently every day listen to the worst fucking music.
Oh, yes.
Horrible.
Of course. Yeah, but then you got to keep yourself going somehow.
How?
I mean, we're each to our own taste, scene.
Dude. Which kind of segues into is it a rule? Is there a law? Is there something printed somewhere that says every under 30-year-old English man has to be a DJ at some point in his life?
I guess there must be. Somewhere. I didn't read the small print, but I guess I must follow the curve.
You took up the whole DJ thing long after you'd been doing ground control.
I did, yeah.
Latent fucking gene kick in or something?
I'd done some before, but just, the average like virtual DJ software on your laptop, messing around because everybody that's UK also loves drum and bass, so we like to mix that stuff. So, but yeah, I picked it up pretty late. I wouldn't consider myself any type of expert in it. I like to push buttons that light up and go and flash and make things change. But
you went from I'm gonna play a little bit of music to all of a sudden you had this fucking huge setup and you're the guy over in the corner with one hand up on the earphone just grooving to a beat that we can't hear yet because you haven't mixed it in.
Yeah.
When the fuck did this happen? It must be an English thing.
It must be an English thing.
So you transitioned out of ground, which you enjoyed doing. You were very good at.
Yeah, I mean, I had this. One thing I wanted to say actually was the experience doing ground control taught me so much before I went to go and do video, and the same doing video, just video, taught me so much before I went to do tandem. It gives me, it built my experience from the ground up. I watched all these guys opening and landing and doing all these things and all the different conditions, every single wind condition and every single direction landing, whether it's tandem, video or anything. So I'm learning a lot just from watching at the start of things. But yeah, happily transitioned to doing video, and it was for a bit it was video and ground control, which was also very nice.
Sure.
And then eventually moving on to get the tandem rating later.
Oof.
Yeah.
See, what's funny?
Slave to the drogue.
It's funny that you say you did it that direction, because I did as well. I was just fortunate enough that I did it at a time where I was able to get away with a kind of a hitting the fast forward button. I started shooting video way too young in my career and got lucky because I had a bunch of tunnel time flying big old baggy suits. So flying a pair of wings was easy. And then I was forced into getting my tandem rating when I absolutely did not want it, specifically because I had filmed a couple thousand tandems by then and I wanted no truck with that shit.
So you didn't feel like you learned anything to be able to deal with it. You just felt like you'd sinned too much. And
I only learned I didn't want to do that shit. It just... Now, that being said, the gear that we were using back in the day were the old Vector tandem rigs before the Sigmas came out, and F111 tandem canopies that went as big as a 500 square foot canopy and opened like a fucking freight train.
Oh, yeah. So it's like a car crash every opening.
Every single one.
I wouldn't be enticed to go and switch from video to do that.
No, it was fucking brutal. And plus, as the video guy, you're the one, because I started shooting video in Vegas, so I'm able to fly in front of the cute girls that I'm going to hit on as soon as we land on the ground. The tandem instructors, whatever, he's got, So, but you decided you wanted to do the tandem rating, and I remember thinking as you were going through your tandem rating, he seems really happy about this. Like, you really seem to enjoy the course.
Always really happy about it. Yeah, I mean, I did it with Carl. We both know Carl. I'm sure a lot of people know Carl. And he had, I can't remember, had he recently got his instructor, is it an instructor examiner? That's the rating, right?
Yeah.
So he'd recently got, I think it was maybe his first or one of his first students.
Yeah.
And had the opportunity to do it at the Palm dropzone, which is something that no one really does, which is very nice.
Yes.
So that was an experience as well. To go and now join all my buddies doing the, and have these different stories and meeting the different people from the other side of things and experiencing the first jump from that initial, when you open the parachute, we all know that you hear the real reaction of what people think about it. So that was a cool aspect that I was excited to dive into.
Sure. Now to get the rating, you actually had to take Carl, didn't you?
I had to take Carl. Carl was my student for the first 3 jumps. He didn't want to come on the
drogue list?
Yeah, the drogue list.
Well, because you guys would have broke the fucking speed of sound.
I don't know why. Maybe he thought we were going to lose the drogue. You know?
I mean...
That drogue detaches during free fall.
Right. Well, Carl's what? Carl's about as tall as me, but he's got a...
Yeah, he's got extra.
Maybe a kg or 2 on me, maybe.
Yeah,
and
a case, maybe.
Like me, he falls like a brick taped to another fucking brick.
He does. But, I mean, you know, that also didn't worry me, you know. Tandems are like shuttlecocks or birdies, you know.
Yeah.
If you've got the heavy thing on the bottom and the light thing on the back, it's just going to go belly to left.
Absolutely.
One of the things we try and work towards when we jump out of the plane, right? So that was easy. I wasn't worried about that. Just some handles checks and...
Well, you're lucky though. You're tall and you're relatively lightweight and strong and healthy. So you kind of got advantages going in that direction. Whereas you got somebody like me that's on the shorter, thicker side, and I've generally found myself as the heavy side of that fucking shuttlecock. It's not the idea, man.
It's not ideal.
You'd see the little Japanese tourists in Las Vegas walking up towards you, and you're like, oh. Fuck! I know I'm getting a little
ninjas.
one.
The ninjas that switch you over. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna end up on my back on this one. There's no way it's not.
Sometimes you can just tell, eh?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think it has something to do with the fact that you've got it in your head and you've already decided you're going to go flip.
Oh yeah. You do it to yourself.
So who knows?
You do it to yourself. So you kind of you gelled with the whole tandem thing. Is that partially because you're a people person?
I think so. Yeah. And it was. Like I said, with the experience of being on the plane so much and being surrounded by my friends, when I went to do my tandem rating, my first 30 tandems were all of the staff who have got something to teach me each time. And I literally, at one point, I printed off the schedule and I was crossing people's names off. And each time I was crossing a person's name off, I was turning around to the manager and saying, am I good to do a real tandem yet? It's just 5 more names, you know? So it was really good to be there with these guys who are the best in the business teaching me what to do. And then, I don't know.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because if I look back, and I've said it many, many times on the podcast, my favorite way looking back to skydive is tandems. And I fought tooth and nail getting my tandem rating, but it turned out to be such a fun experience. Again, you're the one that gets to share that instant reaction when the parachute opens. But the coolest thing I found throughout all of it was the psychology that goes into being a good tandem instructor and learning how to go, this person is going to need this from me to have a good time.
Yeah,
this person is going to need that. Yeah.
And you have to learn to do it quickly as well when you've got 5 minutes. Maybe at a different drop zone where it's not so busy, you might have a little bit of weather or some downtime to get to know your student. But
well, got it. At where I did the bulk of my tandems in my career at Cross Keys, you'd meet your student in the loading area, so you wouldn't even gear your student. So you'd grab your student, and you literally had from the time you met and boarded the aircraft to the time that you left to read this person, figure out what they're going to need, and how to calmly get them out of the airplane in a way that's not going to kill you. So it was this great, you got a 10-second psychologist, and you've got to bang out how is this person going to handle this. And it's kind of funny, and I'm sure you've figured this out by now, is people most of the time fall into categories. So they're pretty easy to read. Okay, you've got the 5 groups of whatever. This person needs this and this and this and this. Every once in a while, though,
one's outside the box.
Fucking hell!
I will admit, I've read some people wrong.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely read some people wrong. It really it gets you down when you don't get the right convincing argument to get someone out of the plane. Yeah. And you have to go down with that plane. That's really depressing.
Knock wood. I don't even have to knock wood because I'm never taking another tandem again. I never had a refusal.
You never had a refusal?
I never had a refusal.
I don't know how many I've had. They must be doing something wrong.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like one time I was going up in the plane and it was a Chinese student. She didn't speak a word of English. And, the whole thing. We moved towards the door, and suddenly she's freaking out. So she's grabbing every single dangerous thing that is possible in the aircraft.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, let's calm this down. Like, it's not going to cost me any more money to, I'm not going to lose any money by not jumping out of this plane. Let's calm the situation down. I tried to explain to her we're not going to jump, but she didn't understand that we're not going to jump. Then I'm taking her off me and putting it on a seat next to me. She still does not understand that we're not going to jump. She's screaming her head off. She puts her hand in my shoulder and it's biting me, like physically biting my arm, and I'm almost drawing blood. And Peter is there, sat opposite me, filming the whole situation. It must be on video somewhere. So yeah, I've had a couple of exciting ones.
Oh my God, that sounds fucking epic. Yeah. So even when she was unhooked, did she think you were just gonna?
I
throw
don't
her?
know. Yeah, I guess maybe she thought I was just unclipping her. The door was still open. She was like, I was fed up and was just gonna chuck her on her own or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, in a perfect
Who knows?
Oh my God! No, the closest I ever had to a refusal was out of the sky van in Cross Keys, and we were actually at we were jumping in Wildwood, so we were jumping over the beach. And it was this big guy. I think he was probably 6'4", 6'5". I don't know what that is in centimeters, but a fuckload taller than me.
I'm on your scale, bro.
Yeah,
I'm UK.
Okay, yeah. So dramatically taller than me, and you walk out of the sky van and you do a gainer. It's the easiest fucking exit ever, unless the person in front of you is a fuckload taller and doesn't want to go that direction.
Oh, right, yeah.
And by then
they're making the decisions.
Yeah. And by then I had enough, false pride in myself that I'm like, fuck, I don't want a goddamn refusal. So we're literally, 2 feet from the door. We're going. We're that close, and we're the only people on board. And so I tell him, okay, cool. He's like, I can't go. All right, cool. Just nice and slow, turn around and face the front of the plane. And as soon as he turned around, I just ran out backwards. Wait, and he
probably thanked you for it.
He did. He thanked me. He thanked me after the fact.
That's what's annoying about when you get a refusal. Unfortunately, but they're going to thank you for it. Thank you so much.
They just spent a whole lot of money on a really expensive airplane ride that they're going to regret for how knows long. It's one of those things, right? This person is going to be kicking themselves forever.
And we've all been there on the successful side of convincing someone that it's a good idea to jump out of a plane, and it gets pretty intense sometimes,
Oh yeah. I've had
talk
people
about life and
I've had people burst into tears and people super thankful and stuff. That's why the tandem side of things was and will always be my favorite part, because you get such a reward outside of just the jump.
Yeah.
They'll never remember our names. They're not going to be able to pick us out of a lineup fucking 5 years down the road, but what you gave them will be with them for the rest of their lives. Yeah, they remember the experience.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
And I've never had anybody that didn't that wasn't happy they did it. I've had people that are like, I'll never fucking
do it again. Yeah, I had that. That was one of the first reactions the other day, actually.
Absolutely.
Never do that again. It's like, okay, well, at least we did it once.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got that story to tell forever.
Yeah.
You ever been thrown up on?
No.
Anybody?
No, yes. I'm more proud of not being thrown up on than...
I've been puked on all over the place.
Yeah, that was very close the other day. But eyes on the horizon and just slowly closing your visor so they can't hear your voice anymore.
Dude, I was doing tandems back before we were wearing helmets, and I can tell you what someone's breakfast tasted like.
Oh, yeah. No, especially not in COVID. I don't fancy any of that.
Right? Right? No shit.
It's really...
Now, speaking of, you were back in the UK for COVID.
Yeah.
But you hit the kind of the cherry time to be back in the UK.
Yeah. Hit it perfect. Yeah. They were pretty locked down over there when I got back over there. At least some pubs and stuff were open and the weather was nice. At least they had, that first lockdown, they had some nice weather. Now, not so much.
Yeah. How long did you go without jumping?
It wasn't that long, actually, because it was closed down in March. And then when the drop zone opened, I was still here. So I went and did, it was that first jump when you hadn't jumped in however long. And I just want to do a hop and pop and do a nice swoop and see if I can remember what the hell I'm doing and not break both legs, and then I'll feel better about myself. So.
Yeah.
So it was only ever 3-4 months gaps. And then when I was back in the UK, I actually did one. I needed to get a reline, so I went up to another drop zone a little bit up north. And then, of course, as is England, jumped out in a cloud, fell through the rain for fucking 4,000 feet. Tried to wait until I could get out the bottom of the cloud, and then just decided there is no bottom of this cloud, and just had to pull.
Yeah, when the bottom of the cloud is just the top of the fog.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a good idea.
So staying current, but whatever.
Fuck, man, I've been I'm a little over a year without a jump.
Oh, really? You haven't jumped?
No, because I didn't jump before I went to Nepal.
Okay.
End of 2019, because I was smart enough to know if I'm going to twist an ankle and not be able to hike to base camp, it's going to be because I went and did a hop and pop. So I'm like, all right, fuck. I'm not going to jump. I'm going to wait until I get back from Nepal. And I get back from Nepal, and we were super, super busy. And the next thing you know,
and then
COVID.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a long time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have some proper jitters when I go out to jump again.
My first landing is gonna scare you, man.
Nah,
but
it's gonna be nice.
It was scaring me, man. I was like, I'm not gonna remember. All the way up until that flat line beat went off on my audible.
Right.
I did not know how to swoop, and then when I was in that exact same position, and that beat went off, I was like, oh yeah. Just let it ride in the back. I remember this.
Oh, I'm going to fly like a little old lady, but I'm going to fly like a little old lady on a Velo 96 at 190 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to be coming in pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
Mellow on any cross brace canopy is still pretty goddamn sporty. So I'm sure it will get my undivided attention.
For sure.
So now, where do you see skydiving going for you down the road? Because you kind of were without direction so much when you started skydiving.
That's true.
Becoming a skydiver has not exactly been known for putting people on a
perfect path. No, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Yeah, one of the other things that got me started on skydiving was the travel, essentially, which is why I always knew I was going to have to get this tandem ticket, essentially, because that's what's going to get you the opportunities in places.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nobody's looking for a videographer in Bali or wherever, They're looking for someone that's got multi-ratings, So that was the idea of getting the tandem rating. And now I have that. It's comfortable here. So I've been here for a little bit, but the idea is to go and use that to go and see the rest of the world, because it's different going on holiday to places than it is living in places. I don't really think you get to see countries when you just go there on vacation. It's just all glitz and glimmer, and you see the visage of the front of the country. You don't get to see what it's all about, So I want to go check out some more places and whatever. Canada's on my list. I've always wanted to go. I'm 29 now, and I think there's some limitations from being 30. After you're 30, something like you can't do this working visa thing. So I don't know. Also, they have the same rule in Australia and New Zealand, but I think Canada's might be a priority.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who knows?
Fair enough.
Skydiving takes you everywhere. Sometimes it's just the people that you bump into and they give you a good opportunity. And
that's it, right? I mean, it's a fucking small sport. After I finished up in Cross Keys and did my time in the States, I took advantage of exactly that. And the first place that I went and worked at outside of the States, I did 6 months in Fiji. Landing on the beach, and
Fiji seems like a
chicks in bikinis out of a Turbo 182 and having a fucking blast and just a wonderful time, and then did another 6 or 7 months in New Zealand as well, and so just these spectacular places that you get to go.
Yeah, man,
well, and it's nice knowing, like you said, if you're multi-rated nowadays, a multi-rated skydiver in non-COVID times has a job almost anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is fantastic.
And I've explored a lot of Europe, because I'm from the UK, so it's always going to be on my doorstep. So I feel like getting a bit further afield.
Sure.
And I had a job lined up in China recently, in Hainan. You know where that is?
I don't.
An island off the south coast. Have you heard of the guy called Jitang?
The name sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, yeah. He has a drop zone over there, so we're going to go work over there.
Is that where Rob Stanley was jumping?
I don't think so, no. There's a few drop zones on the island, but this one is kind of newly set up, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, that was just another good opportunity. And when I was back in the UK, I was setting up some visa stuff. But the day I went to pick up my visa from the consulate or whatever it was, the UK put a ban on China put a ban on UK citizens entering the country, so that's off the cards for a little bit. It's all difficult these days, what can you do? Every 5 minutes a rule change, and you have to change your life plans.
Well, and it's some strange shit. I mean, at the end of the day, especially considering the climate of the entire world right now, we strap other human beings to us in extremely close quarters.
That is true.
And have them scream in our faces for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of whatever else comes out their nose or mouth.
Yeah, oh God, yes,
Especially
man.
if you're not wearing a full face helmet. You know?
Again,
You're
yeah,
definitely in the firing line, if you want to put it that way.
that was the major hazard back in the day. I mean, I've had other people's snot on my face for years.
And now it's life or death, bro.
Right? What the fuck, man? I swear. So, you're a skydiver then? Are you a lifer?
As long as my body holds up, I guess. I see my friends slowly getting back pains and neck pains and stuff. And I always ask them, when someone has a bad injury, I'm like, how many skydives you got? Because it's giving me my counter until maybe I'm going to have the same injury. But
dude, yoga.
We'll see how it goes. Yoga, yeah.
Dude, I tell you, I mean, I remember going through Skydive Arizona way, way, way back in when I still had rubber joints and seeing Sean McCormick, Sky Surfer Sean McCormick, leading a group doing yoga. And I remember thinking, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
This looks like some bullshit. I want to go skydive. And now I would give anything to turn back the clock and do fucking yoga. Wow.
Well, I am kind of the guy that turns up at the drop zone, has a coffee and a cigarette, and watches everybody else do their stretching. So maybe I'll be
stretching.
saying exactly the same words.
Stretch with a cigarette and a coffee. It's fine. Fucking find a way to do it. I'm telling you, holy shit. Because, yeah, you're right. Every skydiver that I know has... Yeah, we put up with it. I mean, I think I probably make it 2 or 3 nights a week without an ice pack on my shoulder to go to bed, shit like that, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the openings, I guess it must be the openings, We're not really putting ourselves through much else in free fall or anything like this. So those openings, they don't feel like much, one at a time, but they add up. And occasionally you're having, one car crash opening a year, which is not what most people do.
It's whiplash.
Everyone has a car crash every year,
and a fucking brisk one. Well, and again, you're lucky in your timing in the sport in that the camera equipment is dramatically lighter and a lot of advancements in that because I was jumping with a proper fucking heavy camera setup. So the hard openings that I had have fucked 3 or 4 discs in my neck for life.
Yeah, I was still jumping that Sabre 1 for 300 jumps, which is
man, absolutely.
That's the old tech, but yeah.
I was just talking to somebody else about potentially changing up canopies, and I was looking at the Icarus line because especially with like the JFX and stuff are known for really soft openings.
All the new tech canopies are open like a dream, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like I was jumping the Velo for a bit, and it's nice. I don't necessarily.
Openings aren't great.
They're not amazing.
No,
they have the snivel, snap at the end, which is not that comfortable. But all this new tech canopies, they're just amazing. You can just chuck it in the bag and
sure. Well, and that again, looking at that particular line, the JFX looked like a fantastic canopy for me. The Leia, because I don't jump as much, looked like a little bit more in the gas tank than I want, a little bit more power than I think I need because I'm getting older. I don't sliding on a previously broken tailbone doesn't look.
Oh
yeah. Off of a fucking swoop, of course.
Yeah.
So long-term, lifetime skydiver. Any other aspirations work-wise? You gonna take this DJ shit anywhere?
Who knows, man? I don't know. Maybe we could set up a drop zone somewhere together eventually.
Nice.
We have a fucking, a club in the back. We keep all the tandem passengers around for a bit.
Very cool.
Charge like $12 vodka tonics or something. Make some real bank.
Okay, why not?
Who knows, man? We're seeing how it goes. It's like literally.
So
all up in the air. Who can make decisions these days?
Right, yeah, no doubt. Well, for those that are coming into the sport and trying to decide, and they're new in the sport where you were, from someone that basically started out from the bottom and worked his way up to get all the ratings, what advice do you have to somebody that just did that first jump? They just made that first jump and they know, like you knew, this is me. What do I do? What advice do you give to them?
All right, give me a second. I have to think about that one.
Yeah, it's tough. Because, the normal advice is drink a lot, have as much fucking sex as possible, and jump out of airplanes.
Well, I maxed out a bunch of credit cards. I'm not going to lie. This is the reason that I am where I am, because I didn't have the real money to put into it as much as... It's expensive. We all know it's expensive.
Sure.
When people ask me how much does it cost to skydive, I say If you really want to skydive, it's going to cost you everything you've got.
Yeah.
Because literally, if you're that mad for it, you just pour everything into it, the equipment, the tunnel, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
You're spending all your money doing it. So I don't regret that for a second. I'm not advising people to go out and get credit cards, but it might push you in the right direction in getting some real experience
Right.
in the first starting out, you know.
Right. Help your credit rating too.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then you just move country. That's what I did.
I'm going to say right now, do not follow that advice. Do not follow that advice.
But no, I mean, just being really enthusiastic and knowing what you want to do. Like, unfortunately, I don't have the camera equipment that I at one point had the money to be able to afford. And that was really, if you've got something that you're really passionate about, then you're going to dive in whatever. It don't really matter what everyone else says.
Sure.
And just follow that thing. I haven't done any tunnel myself. It's definitely pushes people in the right direction in getting their skills up and getting the opportunities available to them. If it's like load organizing or whatever you want to do. But if you've got a goal in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it as soon as you've got that goal, you'll do whatever you can to
Exactly. You just jump down that rabbit hole, and
well, and I mean,
you're not going to be looking back saying I shouldn't have done that. It's always.
Well, and I mean, it's very much a lifestyle choice, though, right? Because I mean, most of the people that I know that have decided, all right, skydiving is my life. In making that decision, they're like, all right, chances are there goes the white picket fence.
Yeah.
Chances
That's
are,
true.
I'm not going to live this very standard life. That being said, I'm lucky enough that I've been able to make a pretty normal life out of a very abnormal career. But most people, it's not a vagabond lifestyle, but it's certainly not the standard lifestyle.
No.
So you kind of make that decision, right?
Yeah, you do. But I guess you got to be that way inclined before you jump down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to be, I don't know, following that.
No, well, that's why
Because skydivers drag you wherever the hell you don't want to go, and if you don't want to go, then you're not going to join.
Exactly. Well, that's why I
in many
nicknamed.
different
That's why I
directions.
named the podcast the Lunatic Fringe, because it's not something that you become; it's something you are.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly what skydiving is. It's a bunch of whatever lost children that happen to find each other together,
Right? Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, it's like bumping into somebody at the party that's done the same stuff as you, and you're like, I know where you're at.
Yeah, you just catch each other's eye and be like, that guy's as weird as I am.
Yep, I know exactly where the fuck you are. Yeah, it's kind of what it is, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you have that instant connection with somebody that you find out as a skydiver, and you automatically know kind of their vibe.
Yeah.
Which is one of the coolest things about the sport.
And they're from all walks of life, which is interesting as well. But
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So any last pieces of advice to the kids coming up before we go?
I do not have any last pieces of advice.
Just
stay in school, maybe.
Fuck that. Just
The exact opposite of what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Quit school, rack up some credit cards, go skydive.
There you go. That's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Tim, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the time coming in, and keep on jumping, man.
Lovely being here,
All right.
man.
Cheers.
Chat to you later.
See ya. All right, there you have it. Another episode of Lunatic Fringe, Into the Void, in the Can. As always, brought to you by the greatest magazine in the known universe. Head to blueskiesmag.com. Also, pussfoot.com, the extreme sports collective, pussfoot.com. Summitparachutesystems.com. Jarrett Martin putting together awesome pilot rigs and rigging courses as well at summitparachutesystems.com. And as for me, I am the fucking pilot. You can find me at thefuckingpilot.net or theprincesspilot.com, where you get links to this podcast and all the others, as well as both the books. Once again, thanks. We'll see you next time.